There's only one thing to do when you get new parts for your rig, and that is to try and break them. So with new parts installed and me losing sleep until I could test them out, the day has finally come for another Tahuya run. I am at one of my favorite places in the world, Tahuya ORV. This place has so much to offer and so many obstacles to test your vehicle. I love coming out here. And the reason I'm coming out today, because I have a few new things to test out on the Bronco. First is the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. I've been very curious about the tire for a long time, so I'm excited to put them through their paces. And then the other is RCI Rock Sliders, which in my opinion are the best on the market for the Bronco, for reasons I'll cover later. So without further ado, let's get into the off-road park. In case you're unfamiliar with Tahuya, it is 23,000 acres with many miles of trails throughout. These trails are designed to be challenging and vary in difficulty, from easy forest roads to very difficult rock crawling and everything in between. The trail systems are shared by full-size vehicles, ATVs, motorcycles, side-by-sides, and even horses. So have fun, but be aware of others out there enjoying this area as well. I should say while I'm doing this, I don't have any sort of aids on at all. The traction control is completely turned off. The lockers aren't on, stuff like that. So I'm really trying to remove all of that from this testing and see where the limits of the tires are exactly. I'm also not using momentum, so I really want to see like how much they can grip and move the entire weight of this without momentum behind it. So I'm kind of intentionally not wheeling how I typically would, just because I really want to see the limits.
This right here is why a kickout is important to me. It helped me push the rear of the Bronco to the passenger side just a little bit, but that was enough to give my driver's side rear tire less of an obstacle to clear. After spending a good chunk of time weaving through the tight trees and obstacles of the dense Tahuya forest, it began to open up and sunlight hit the Bronco for the first time this trip. At this point, my attention switched from testing the rig to trying to find a place to cook some lunch.
This is exactly what I was looking for. Little clearing on the top of the hill with a view, got the Olympics in the background. But I'm hungry, and this is a perfect spot to cook some brats. So Iceco sent me out a couple new products to test out. They sent me this grill, which is vastly improved over the first grill that they had. There's a lot more space for the charcoal, so I would imagine it's not gonna burn my meat like it did last time. And they also sent me this chair. This chair is the most comfortable camping chair that I've personally had. So comfortable. And then they also have like a chair pad for it, and it's so comfortable. These are a little bulky, and honestly I was like, I'll try them out, but I can't imagine, you know, taking up that much space. But after sitting in it, I'm like, I'm not going on a trip without it. Anyways, I'm really excited about this grill because I love brats. Like, that's one of my favorite camping meals to have. It's great to cook it on a stove, which is what I typically do when I'm out camping, but to roast them over some charcoal flames, I'm very excited about this. As always, there's a link in the description that'll save you 12% off everything on the Iceco website. Iceco also has a pretty big Black Friday deal coming up. I think it's 20% off everything, and then 30% off the JP50 fridges. And that runs from November 20th to the 26th or 27th. I don't recall off the top of my head. But anyways, if you're interested, it's in the description.
There was a short section of trail that would take me from my lunch spot back to the main trail. I scoped it out with the drone and it didn't look overly difficult. I was very wrong though. I was only able to get drone shots of this trail, and I used active track because my attention was fully on the trail. Unfortunately, that means I did not get the best angles to showcase how sketchy this got at times, but trust me, it was a bit more than I bargained for. At one point, because the decline was so steep and I was teetering on two wheels, I truly thought that if my passenger front didn't find ground, that I was going to flip the Bronco. That trail was a little bit more intense than I was wanting for a solo trip out to Tahuya. That got really sketchy coming down that hill. Was not a fan. It's 1:30, you've still got a couple hours to play out here, so let's see what else we can find. By the way, if you are not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. I'm really trying to hit 25,000 by the end of this year. And I think it's entirely possible. We got less than 2 months to make it happen, but there's a ton of you who watch this that don't subscribe, but come back from my video. So make it easier on your life, subscribe, that way you're notified every time I post. I knew the risk of high centering on that was fairly high, but I wanted to give it a shot anyways. So I ended up needing both front and rear lockers on that one. And my skid plate made it a little shorter for the next person.
Enough to knock me out.
So I just wrapped up here in Tahuya, and as always, had an absolute blast. I love it out here. So the main point of this was to test out kind of some of the new things, so I wanted to talk about those real quick and give you my kind of first impressions of everything, starting with the tires. So like I said at the beginning of the video, they're Nitto Ridge Grapplers. I had them down at 15 PSI for this trip, and what I really wanted to do was turn off all of the aids in the Bronco and see where the limits of it were. If I had good contact with the ground, there was no slipping. They performed really, really well. When I was three-wheeling or had a lot of weight off of one tire or two tires, because there were times I was teetering, then they wouldn't hook up. That isn't necessarily due to the tire, that's more so because they're open differentials, so you have to lock them before they actually, so they can send power to the tire that actually has traction. So not saying those are the Nittos at all, but that's the only time I lost traction. So other than that, they did really well. I also got them a lot closer to tree stumps and close to pinching the sidewall, much closer than I like to, but the sidewalls held up really well. Obviously I didn't have a blowout. So overall, really happy with the tires. All right, so the Rock Sliders, they performed perfectly. They did everything they needed to do. I intentionally put the Bronco in situations to where I could use them because I really wanted to test them out and see just how well they do. Specifically, I wanted to test the kick out, which I was able to do, and it did exactly what it's supposed to do, which is kick the back end away from whatever obstacle. That way it clears it easier, and it did exactly that. That is literally why I went with RCI, because they were the only option with the kick out, and that's super important to me. So all in all, it was a fantastic day. I definitely got a little bit sketchier than I would have liked for a solo trip at one point, but we made it out, no damage, no injury, so it was a good day. Until next time, I hope you're able to get off the grid and off the grind. I'll see you in the next one.